Hi, welcome to the Oliver Fetter YouTube channel. Today I'm working on my 1995 Delica L300 Star Wagon and just kind of tidying up a few things. On the docket for today is figuring out why my marker lights and dash lights do not work, and maybe trying to replace the injectors and some U-joints in my drive shaft. Maybe those are separate videos. So this video could be helpful for you if you're having any kind of problems with your running light circuit, which is dash lights, plate lights, corner lights, running lights, same thing basically. Any of those lights, if they don't work, this is a good video for you to watch. So this is my L300, and I recently bought this, and initially I was having a problem where the dash lights would only sometimes come on, which I assume is the whole circuit, would only sometimes come on. But it would still come back on eventually. And then the other day while driving home, it actually just didn't come back on at all. And just to be clear, we're talking like the first click on your light switch, second click is headlights 2, which they're probably on right now. But first click, dash lights, tail lights, front marker lights, all of your running lights that help you navigate nighttime driving. And currently none of them come on for me now. So it kind of changed. It was on and off, and now it went to just being completely all of them off. So I already spent probably about a half day, not really, probably spent like an hour trying to diag this previously, and I'll kind of walk you through what I did. Of course, first things first, down here, got your fuse box, take that off. The fuse we're looking at is this one right here, this 15 amp, which I don't speak Japanese and I forget what this means, but that's the one. You can see mine is missing. That's because I took it out. So if your lights aren't working, the first thing to check is that if your fuse is good or not. And if it's blown, chances are to blow again, but you might as well try, which I already did. I put a new fuse in here and I turned my running lights on and it immediately blew the fuse. Now, if that's the case, you need to stop just trying to put fuses in here because you're gonna get the same result every single time. You're gonna blow a bunch of fuses. So, the immediate next step is to figure out why it's blowing the fuse, and that usually involves thorough checking of your vehicle. So anytime you're having an electrical problem, you're trying to diagnose it, your first line of defense here, and basically the most basic things you could possibly need besides, screwdrivers and hand tools, is a decent multimeter and some, alligator clip test leads. So this multimeter, I think I got on Amazon, maybe it was like 30 bucks. It's like probably 2 steps up from getting one at Harbor Freight, which is really janky, and I like this one a lot. We're gonna go to voltage first because you want to check if your circuit was getting power, and then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna put it on. This is ohms or resistance, so we're gonna check the resistance of the circuit through some different things. For all of these tests, we need a good ground to connect to, and this bolt right here is great. It's really clean and nice and gives a good result. This metal back here should also be totally fine if we can get a good purchase on it. And it's important that your grounds are kind of clean. That's why I like this shiny bolt. But the alligator clip ain't gonna go to that. So here we go. And then I'm just gonna clip my lead of the probe into that. And now we can test these circuits. Now, as far as these circuits work, the top of the circuit, I believe, is what has power, and the bottom is what's fused, as in power is being sent through the fuse from the top to the bottom. So we're gonna check that bottom metal tab there to see if, well, we'll check both to see if they have any voltage when we turn the key on. Okay, so right now key is on, and top circuit, there you go, 12.83, so this is your bus bar on top basically, and the bottom, that's reading in millivolts. All it's telling us is there isn't voltage there. So we're gonna come over here, we're gonna turn it back to what I mentioned earlier. This is the resistance setting, or ohms. Right now it will read that's basically infinite, or it's reading that there is no continuity. Now if I touch here, now that's giving us the resistance between where my probe is touching and this ground right here. And if I touch my ground, we get about 0.3 ohms, which is basically no resistance. The electricity can flow as freely as it wants, and this works on all kinds of things. You can touch it over here, and now we're measuring the resistance between this bolt and my lead. And if it flicks back to this, that's because you don't have a good connection. Wiggle your stuff around, find a better spot. We're gonna test this circuit now. And again, we're not testing the hot side. That would generally short out our probe. The switch, the light switch is off. So now if I turn the light switch on, one click, come back here to testing this. So this is the problem. This is why the circuit doesn't work, and this is why my fuse is blowing, is that it's reading basically right around 3 ohms of resistance between the positive side of the circuit and ground. And that means we're shorted to ground, so this circuit is dumping a bunch of amperage into a ground somewhere, and it won't work. So the things I already checked, and again, I'm just gonna explain what this means, is that our positive wire somewhere, anywhere in this circuit, is able to dump power to ground, which is no good. And you have to repair that before the circuit will ever work again. So, things to check are any places you could commonly have a short that are easy to get to. So for everything on the circuit, this includes your dash lights, your light switch, your front marker lights, your tail lights, your license plate lights. All of those lights and all of those, any switch, anything illuminated on this circuit could be the short. So I already checked all of my marker lights, my tail lights, license plate lights. I checked the switch, I checked dash lights, I checked some things under the dashboard. So far I have not come up with any obvious suspects, and what we're looking for really is like burnt wires, melted wire sheathing, anything that looks wrong, anything that looks like it's been damaged. And personally I have not come up with anything yet, which sucks because it means I gotta go deeper. The first things you should check if you're having problems with the circuit is I've heard that the light switch can be the problem, and it's pretty easy to check. Let's just look at that real quick. So the main wire involved in this circuit is right here. It's this green and white one. Now I have a 95 L300, so I have this green and white wire, which is the culprit in this circuit, and yours is potentially a different color. It may not be green and white, but it probably is. So the green and white wire is the running light circuit wire. You'll find this on your taillights, you'll find this on your marker lights, you'll find it under your dashboard. And this green and white wire is the same circuit everywhere you go. And so if you wanted to test your dash switch, the easy way you're gonna test whether something is the short or not is you're gonna unplug it. So we can unplug this circuit, which I will do off camera because it's a little tricky. It's those side tabs. And then we'll be able to retest whether or not we're still shorted, and that will tell you whether the short lies in your column or not. Something I've found is that you can't actually test the continuity of the circuit unless you're testing it through the switch with the switch on the whole time, which I don't really like that setup. So we can find a new place to test the circuit. And actually look at this. This I think is generally fog lights, if you have fog lights. And mine's just this blank with wiring coming out of it. And wouldn't you know it, there's our green wire with the white stripe right there. So I'm gonna pull this dummy plug off, and we're gonna be able to test the circuit through this connector. So this is the plug right here for your headlight switch. It sits right about here. And so one of these wires comes from the fuse box to the switch, and there is our suspect green and white wire right there. So I've just removed this part of the circuit. Basically from here to the fuse box is now disconnected, and I still have my ground probe hooked up, and I'm still probing the green and white wire in the circuit, just not with the steering column hooked up. And wouldn't you know it, we're still at 0.1 ohms. So it actually even went down. There's now less resistance than ever between whatever's shorting and the short. So this is not the light switch. However, if you disconnected this and this went to 0, or you know what we really want to see is this, you really want to see that, that would be great. If you saw that there was no continuity once you took the switch out of the circuit, aka it's no longer shorted, then you would know it's the switch and that's what you replace. So you can do this with a variety of things in the car. And you would do the same procedure for each headlight, each corner light, each plate light. Unplug something, check continuity. Unplug something, check continuity. Keep doing that until hopefully you find it in something easy. Now in my case, I've unplugged everything except my 2 license plate lights, which I will do soon, and I still have a short, which means that somewhere, I think, in my dashboard, there are 2 crossed wires, and I now get to find them. Yeehaw. At this point, I haven't been able to find it on any easy stuff. Again, just to show you how pervasive the circuit is, here's the green and white. This is in the ashtray up front. This is your radio lead. There's green and white for radio lights. It's just everywhere. So having not been able to find it and still having basically a dead short, 0.8 ohms from ground through the circuit, I'm gonna be taking the dashboard out of mine because I have a feeling my short is in here, or at least all the plugs to suss it out are in here. So I'm gonna try to pull the dashboard out now, and then hopefully we'll have some more plugs to be able to unplug and kind of narrow this down. Right now my dashboard's mostly free. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 top 10mm bolts that hold it. There's a 5th 10mm that holds the reservoir here on, and then there's 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, I'm pointing to midair because it's gone, and 4 that hold your instrument cluster in place. And then there's like 6 maybe screws along the bottom of the dash. Okay, and dashboard is now out. There's not actually much mounting hardware that holds the dashboard. It's just top and bottom. But all of these wires are like pinched onto the backside of it, and that was actually kind of difficult. Everything needs unplugged, and all the wires need carefully removed so you don't break any of them. So that was a little bit of a process, but it is now out. And we can resume looking for this short. Okay, so I finally found some kind of conclusive lead on where this short might be. Right now we're at 0.16. When I disconnect, there's a couple connectors here, and this lower one, when I disconnect that, we go back to full circuit. So I need to figure out where this goes and what's connected to it, and that narrows down the fact that everything before this plug is okay, and everything after this plug may have a short in it. So if we look at this chunk of wiring, it's unfortunate that I pulled the whole dash to get to it, but that's sometimes what you have to do. And it's this plug here with that green wire there. It goes into this bundle. This bundle includes, well, it includes what you're looking at, basically. You can see it splits. We've unplugged most of it already. You know, there's nothing really plugged in because this is all the dashboard stuff. So it's a dashboard circuit failure somewhere. And honestly, it might be a wire inside one of these looms. So I'm probably going to peel open the loom and try to find the circuit, because I already tried unplugging this and that didn't change. So that means we do have just a wire short somewhere in this circuit. Oh, dang it, and I lied. So we were actually plugged in to that socket over there. So the reason it fixed our short circuit was that we unplugged that socket from the circuit. So we have to plug back into the circuit and see if we can narrow it down some more. And actually, I kind of spoke too soon. So after I pulled that wiring loom out, again, I'm going to the bottom pin to test the circuit, not top. Top is left. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, so now we're actually looking pretty good. When the circuit's off, well, we're at 1 ohm. 1 ohm with the headlight switch on. Now if I go down here and put a fresh fuse in, fresh fuse, take that out, put that in. Let's see. Apologies for the shitty filming. Okay, so that's with lights on. And now this doesn't mean anything, but I actually have tail lights. So this piece of wiring is the problem, and I just need to further diagnose that on my tool bench. Okay, well it gets even weirder. So this harness, after I unplugged it and plugged it back in, it's now fine. That is the lights are on, key is out sound, and harness is plugged back into the rest of the harness. You know, just trying to like wiggle, see if there's like a wire that I moved and displaced, but I honestly wonder if it was like somehow one of the connectors was touching in a way it shouldn't have been, because I had a short up until I unplugged this and I plugged it back in and there's no short. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so in recap, dashboard is back in and all of my lights work, but I didn't actually find any shorts, even though it was shorted. All I really did was unplug the dashboard harness and plug it back in. And it all works now. I checked it every time I plug something back in, so I don't know. Maybe there's a wire in there somewhere that was touching. Maybe one of the connectors was doing something weird, and now it's not, but it's in. Hopefully this helps you troubleshoot your parking light circuit, or any circuit for that matter, and hopefully the fact that I didn't actually find the problem doesn't detract from it too much. Thanks for watching.